Welcome back to the channel for game number 7. You would expect this to be game number 6, and I guess I should probably just call it game number 6. But game number 6 was a weird one where my opponent resigned at minute 4 or 5 or something. It was on Rocky River, and he made spears. I ran them into Japan, so I was like, oh no, this is the civ I never played. But I just, did the things to H up. And he made spear size 1 because I guess he expected me to go water. I think this is what happened. Wait, do I not have game sounds in this one? Oh, it's just quiet. But I didn't go water. And then as soon as I had H2, he resigned. So he didn't say anything. I assume he resigned because of me not having boats and his spears not being able to do anything. Anyway, I'm not gonna upload that one to YouTube since it's only a 5-minute game. So let's just call this one game number 6, even though technically it's game number 7. So Byzantines. Byzantines is a civ I also didn't play for at least a year. Last time I played them, the cisterns were still 50 stone, like that sort of stuff. So yeah, I kind of had to figure out how they work again. I'm going for this build where I'm gathering for the longbows in H1. Oh well, I mean, this isn't the build because you would do it really smooth, and this is just kind of winging it. But that's anyway the strategy. I just want to put pressure with horsemen and longbow. And longbows were always 500 olive oil, but I know that got increased at some point in time, but I don't know to which amount. So I was kind of just in my head sitting here like, wow, it's really been long since I played Byzantine. I was, yeah, like I said, I'm just winging it. This is not some proper builder or something, which is fine, like I can already see that I'm gathering too much gold because the berries are so slow that you probably just only need 2 in gold even if you go like 8 to berries. Anyway, the entire plan is we're gonna put a lot of pressure early H2 with horseman and longbow. We'll just get the single batch of longbow, so we're gonna be done with the berries once we have gathered that, and we'll go from there. Maybe we'll stay H2 for a little bit longer. Maybe we'll go castle. It kind of depends. We saw 2 Wisvilles on the left, so that implies that he's making a dock. Yeah. Also, this landmark should be under the cistern, right, for the faster production. But since I didn't play Byzantine for so long, I didn't think of it. So don't expect a clean game. But it's fun. It's fun to play random civ though. I like it. You never know what you're gonna end up playing, and yeah, even if I never really played a civ or didn't play it for a very long time, I still feel like you should be fine just playing from your basic knowledge. For example, I also never played the DLC, right, because I didn't buy it. But most of the time, if I were to buy it, pretty often I would just be able to play it in like game 1 already. It's my experience. So I'm thinking that longbows are 550. It turned out later on, spoiler alert, I guess. Well, not really a spoiler. They were 520. So I was kind of gambling here, thinking, okay, I hope they got nerfed from 500 to 550, and not to like something like 600. I was kind of unsure if I was gonna have enough at 560, but then it turned out they were 520. So yeah, I would have got it 40 less if I knew that. So we'll just be putting pressure with the horseman, and then yeah, I also want to try that tech out. And that's where I remember, oh yeah, there's an increased bonus for production speed. So now that I have the wood for the building, I don't need much wood anymore. So just a couple of wood will do for the tech and for the horseman. Okay, so my opponent has made at least one dock. We don't know, or I don't know yet how much more. Could check if there's like a veil on the shorefish, right? Like sometimes they stay around. Probably I want to attack his gold, right? That's in the front. And then the wood is kind of exposed to longbows, but not the horsemen. So I don't want to necessarily mess with his wood before I get... before I get my longbows to arrive. So the plan here is to just train this, whatever I have in queue at the moment, and then go castle. Beautiful thing about going castle is, or I mean what I'm doing here combined with going castle is the fact that generally speaking, to counter castle age units you need to be castle age, and since his gold is denied, there's no shot for him to go castle. And the army that I bring here, the horseman longbow, is kind of like it's basically like an uncounterable army. Like you need time to counter this, right? It's not like you can just train spears and be fine, something like that. So the opponent's gone multiple docks. I would like him to make boats. I want him to spend resources on making like an attack boat. So for example, if in this pond he were to make an attack boat, then I could just leave. And it's resource invested by him that I can ignore. So I'm just gonna have my horseman siege the docks and try to get him to invest. And then my longbows are the ones that can put pressure on his wood. So there we go, he trained the boat. Let's go to a different dock now. So he's not noticing the raid. I guess he's worried about my horseman on his dock. And now I'm the one to not notice the attack notification on the horseman. So we're both not noticing something. Because I look back and they're all dead. But anyway, that's fine. Like it's we both messed up, but his mess up is worse than mine. Because losing fields is way more important. So he's going spear horseman, trying to deal with the longbow horseman that I'm making. But I decided I'm just gonna make those knights. They're supposedly really good. Oh yeah, that was sad. He managed to shoot like all my sheep. So this is a little annoying, right? Like he has the 2 boats. It's hard for me to walk back. I want to leave with my longbows. If he had like 2 horsemen there instead of the 1, he should have went on it and killed them. Quickly want to check in the fog of war if there's any berries there or something. So yeah, because of not being able to leave, now we can clean them up. Well, we're getting the free mercenaries, and we want to be back on berries to be getting longbows, like train them as well. And we'll basically do the same thing as we were doing in H2 in terms of horseman longbow, but now it's just what are these guys called again? I think it's cataphracts or something. It's those combined with longbow instead. And I'm pretty sure those guys don't really die unless it's against crossbows. So, but yeah, the free mercenary landmark is also quite nice. No, that's a beautiful connection right there. So yeah, what happened in this game so far? We've killed like 5 vills, and we lost our army mostly for free. So not the cleanest from my side, but luckily he gave up those vills, and that's more important. Yeah, and also of course he did all the boat investments, which is, even though it's annoying, we can't really walk past it too easily. It's also good in the sense that he's down resources, so I would not expect him to just hit Castle Edge here or something right now. So what I want to do here is I want to get another longbow badge, and then once that is trained, I want to push out with it. That's currently my goal. He's also making archers. Those won't do too much, so that's good news for me. Just dropping a monastery behind it, I think it's almost always a good, decent idea. Like my intention is to win the game with this push, but it's a fairly cheap thing to just try to get the relics behind it, so why not? I think longbows are really like the core army of Byzantine. They're just so good. Okay, so we have the extra 5 longbow now. Let's see what we can do. He's fishing on every pond, but he's keeping himself in H2 from all the investments. So I tried to seize the boat down and to create some kind of passageway. Yeah, so here I'm using the ability, and the knights will just basically not die, even though he has spears. Yeah, I feel like it's been almost a topic in every video so far, but H3 knights against H2 spears, just destroy them. I'm not worried about the TC fire and the tower fire anymore since I'm H3 and I got ranged armor blacksmith tech. This is like the biggest difference between being H2 or H3 to do some kind of push like this. I was already worried they wouldn't be able to get it there. Okay, so now to close this game out, it's not about necessarily about just sieging the base down, you just want to find his vills. I know I killed quite a bit already, but there's definitely more to be killed. I'm like scrambling for where to go. I think this is a good example of a game where it's like, I'm not playing clean like whatsoever, right? But it's just so much on Aoe4, just doing the big things, right? Which is like my strategy is sound here, like putting pressure with Lombo Calf, and I'm just doing that. Like, I'm not. My vills are all over the place. Like, I'm not. I'm doing so many things strangely, but yeah. I mean, he's still gonna die. Just kind of putting my army all over the place, looking for anywhere there's resources. Not too bothered with my macro at the moment, like whether I'm training units or not and stuff. It's just about finding his things and killing it. And he called it. So, yeah. I do think this is also why people should be feeling free to just play random, play whatever civ. You know, like if you have a good plan, things will probably work out. So yeah, not my cleanest game, but I'll be at diamond now, and I'll see you guys back in game number 7. We'll just call this game number 6. Bye bye.